meant for diabetes control. They have another molecule called Wegovy, which is injectable semaglutide in different dose ranges, and that is meant for diabetes as well with or without obesity. So, sir, over to you. And once Dr. Viveka's presentation is over, we will see whether I have time for the second presentation or not. Most likely we will do the felicitation and I will do that presentation. I'll give you another CME for that. Sir, over to you.
So, good evening, friends. First of all, happy New Year to all of you. And we are entering into a new era as far as the cardiodiabetic and obesity management is concerned. So today I am going to, as Dr. Chauhan has said, briefly speak to you that transforming the weight loss path with Wegovy. So I am not a diabetologist, I am not an obesity expert, I am a cardiologist. So why I am talking about this? Because the power of this molecule is such that it can decrease.
Friends, just keep quiet on the rail. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. So let's start this style. So the reason why we love this molecule is the cardiovascular mortality, the atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, and even the heart failure, especially the heart failure with preservation infection, did not have many medicines to conquer, but this is something which has got very impressive data. So if you look at the overview, what I'm going to talk about is the burden of obesity, why the semaglutide Wegovy for the transformative weight loss is, par excellence. Beyond the weight loss, what are the benefits? We are looking at the visible benefits of weight loss, but what are the invisible benefits, which are, to my mind, even better than that. And it is a tried, tested, and globally trusted. So basically, this is not an investigational molecule. We have lots and lots of data that it does a lot of good, and then the practical know-how of how to use that. So if you look at the burden of obesity, this is something which is gripping our country also. So the people, we used to say that the developed nations, especially the US and Europe, have obesity problem, but now if you look at in our society also, obesity is a big problem. So 1 billion people are affected by obesity, and greater number as we see every day, and especially these kind of parties, if Dr. Chauhan keeps on giving every Wednesday, all of us will have obesity. So we have got 254 million adults live with generalized obesity and abdominal obesity. So we need to classify that overall body mass index is high, but the more dangerous part of that is the abdominal fat, which is strongly related with the cardiovascular adverse outcome. So this is the ball game. You can see that obesity is associated with 230 plus complications. And if we look at the different kind of diseases which it brings with it, is you can see hypertension, you can see the heart failure, you can see that there is colorectal cancer, breast cancer. So basically the lipids are, or extra fat in the body is something which is kind of real culprit. We call it the toxic fat, and this is something which causes different diseases. So treatment gap in the weight management is there. Definitely we had a few years back, we got SGLT2 inhibitor, which was something which we were very happy that it decreased the weight, but the amount of weight reduction was not more than 3 to 4 kilograms, and it did help in heart failure with reduced ejection fraction. So there was we needed something for really obese patients where we can decrease the weight by almost 15 to 20%, and that will make a meaningful impact on the metabolic outcomes. So why Wegovy? So if you look at the semaglutide in human, 94% of homology in the human GLP-1 receptor analog is there, and that works in key areas of the brain to help the control the anger. So basically, hunger is, the craving is something which is the crux of the problem as far as the obesity is concerned. People cannot control their, hunger, and that is why. So this is something which works in the direct activation of the hindbrain and also direct activation of the hypothalamus. So these are the two, areas where the hunger is controlled, and it works in key areas of the brain to help control hunger and the craving. So these two things which if you control by your lifestyle modification, meditation and things like that, then it will decrease your weight or, but the problem is that, people despite their best intention and efforts are not able to do that. So weight loss trials have been there. So we have data from step 1 to 4, step 5 trial and step 6 trial where the semaglutide has been used in 1.7 to 2.4 milligrams once in a week dose, and all these things had also to be, was compared with the placebo where people have lifestyle modifications. So weight loss benefit of Wegovy was more than 20% of weight loss in more than 1 in 3 patients were having weight loss, and it was weight loss started as early as 4 weeks and sustained weight loss over 4 years with Wegovy. So it's not one-time job, it can be sustained, and then patients, there are many patients who have stopped the medicine but they have stuck to the good lifestyle and the weight loss has been maintained. But if you ask me, honestly, there are a lot of people where there is a rebound also, so we need to continue with the maintenance dose, definitely. So 5% weight loss is, 10%, 15% and 20%. So there are patients who have some amount of weight loss is there, but the maximum weight loss is there in patients who participated in semaglutide 2.5 milligram across the steps trial. 15%, nearly half of the patient had lost weight loss, so half of them would lose 15%, almost 3/4 of them would lose 10% of the weight, and then 5% would lose weight loss would be there in almost 90% of the patient. So basically, if the diet control and the lifestyle modification is there, then there will be bigger weight loss, but definitely most of the patients would have weight loss. So you do not have to leave everything to this molecule. You need to do your own effort also to have some weight loss. So more than 20% weight loss in every 1 out of 3 participants in Wegovy was there, and whatever the data you take from step 1 to step 7 data, that was clearly there. So it means that, and it was compared with the placebo, and also the patients who were diabetic or non-diabetic was looked at. So if you look at the, there was 3.5% improvement in the lean body proportion with the Wegovy. So total fat mass proportion went down by 4% and lean body mass proportion increased by 3.5%. So meaning thereby that it is the predominantly the fat which goes off. So it benefits a lot of people who have got abdominal girth is high, abdominal obesity and all is there. Then 4.5 kilogram improvement in hand grip strength with Wegovy. Basically, once the fat goes up, your muscle mass slightly goes up, and then that helps in your muscle strength also. And if you look at the this is the very important part, because there are a lot of other molecules which have got historically, you see that weight loss medicine had come, but because of the side effect and non-metabolic friendly outcomes, they were banned later on. So when you look at the optimal weight loss and dose dependent and tissue dependent biological effects, so you look at the weight loss 5% to 11% to 16% weight loss, there is a significant improvement in the insulin sensitivity, abdominal adipose tissue index, the gene expression of SC adipose tissue, and then the liver triglycerides, liver insulin sensitivity, all these become better. But if you lose weight more than 10%, that is more than 11%, then the inflammatory markers will also become positively affected. It means that all the toxic effects of the fat which is there in our belly or the abdominal adiposity, all those things, or pericardial fat, all those things will become lesser. So that is why it results into lesser number of myocardial infarction and the other inflammation related, and even the colorectal cancer and things which are mediated through inflammation goes down. And then if you lose more than 16% of weight loss, you will see an amount of benefit with the insulin sensitivity, abdominal adipose tissue goes down. So it means that all the places where the fat is there, that it goes down, beta cell function improves, so automatically it is like a reversal of diabetes. So beyond weight loss benefit of the Wegovy, waist circumference reduction is almost 6.3 3 inches. So you can see that there is a huge decrease in that, and indirectly there is a significant reduction in the blood pressure. Also, you see the systolic blood pressure goes by more than 10 millimeters of mercury, and the diastolic by 5 millimeters of mercury. Triglyceride goes down by 22%, and CRP levels. The CRP is a very, very strong marker of inflammation. So if you see your, whole body checkup packages, all of them have included CRP as a cardiac risk marker. And the reason why CRP is picked, because CRP is an inflammatory marker. So any inflammation will up the risk of, myocardial infarction or the stroke or any vascular pathology. And then if you can contain the CRP, which is by Wegovy, so we are not only controlling your sugar, not only controlling your weight, not only controlling your blood pressure, not only controlling your waist circumference, you are decreasing your lipids and also decreasing the CRP. By virtue of that, it will decrease the risk of myocardial infarction. There is 1.9% reduction in HbA1c at 68 weeks. So meaning thereby that it's not a very, very strong anti-diabetic in its own right, but by virtue of all these synergistic effect, it is really very, very impressive. So HbA1c, those who have got higher HbA1c and those who have got higher weight, this is very, very beneficial in them. So definitely this is something worth trying in people who are diabetic, uncontrolled and obese. More than 80% of every diabetes reverts to normoglycemia. So that is why when we say that if somebody is early diabetic, then if you start with, so if you look at the European Society of Cardiology guidelines, if the person has got a high risk of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, this molecule has been recommended as first choice of drug, even above metformin. So we start with this molecule, and the atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease will be very positively affected. So when you compare with the placebo, reversal of normoglycemia at 52 weeks, a lot of people will go HbA1c to the tune of 5.6, 5.8, so they will become really normoglycemic. 20% MACE reduction will be over. So you are not, and this is something which is on top of this standard of care. Even if the patient is taking statin and other medication, on top of that you will have a 20% reduction in MACE. So that's a very, very impactful thing, because not only you are losing weight, you are controlling your blood pressure, your diabetes is controlled, but indirectly the biggest benefit you are getting is the reduction in major adverse cardiovascular outcomes. So if you see in India, CDSO has said that Wegovy is indicated to reduce the risk of major adverse cardiovascular event, cardiovascular death, non-fatal myocardial infarction or non-fatal stroke in adults with established cardiovascular disease, either obesity or overweight. So meaning thereby that there are two groups where patients who are obese and diabetic, and the other group is that those who are non-diabetic and obese, and this has been found to be beneficial in both the groups. So MACE reduction is evident soon after the initiation. So you can see that the separation of MACE curve appears before maximal weight loss was achieved, and more than 80% of the MACE reduction with Wegovy is mediated by factors other than the weight loss. As I said, that the CRP and other levels goes down, the adiposity, toxicity or inflammation goes down significantly, and MACE risk reduction with the Wegovy 2.4 milligrams is independent of the changes in the body weight. So it means that weight reduction will be an additional benefit, but the patient will get benefit in the major adverse cardiovascular event. So how many days would you take? So this is 20 days when you have to take this medicine. First, statistically significant MACE reduction with the semaglutide 2.4 milligram versus placebo. It means that you get returns on your investment quite early, just 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks. And then first sustained statistically significant difference in MACE reduction with semaglutide is 86 days since the randomization was there. So again, this was quite quick. 57% reduction risk of cardiovascular event with Wegovy in head-to-head study versus tirzepatide. So you remember that there is another molecule which is strong largely, which is tirzepatide or Mounjaro, which is a strong competitor of that, which is, we have been seen that But if you look at the MACE reduction wise, this is far more superior than the tirzepatide also. So when you compare with the tirzepatide, cardiovascular event risk reduction was much, much better. Of course, the weight reduction was equal or slightly more strong with the Mounjaro. So Wegovy tried and tested molecules, so there's a lot of data. They were consistent with GLP-1 receptor analog class, so it's well tolerated. Gastric side effect, which is the effect also because it causes feeling of fullness and lack of appetite, feeling of nausea and all. So these are the things which you expect. That is why you will eat less and you will lose weight. Observed rate of hypoglycemia in a step 2 was not much. When placebo at 2.5, it showed 6.2%, so less than 10% is not significant. And some cholelithiasis was reported 1.6% in patients receiving semaglutide. But very few events of pancreatitis. So obviously we should be careful in patients who have got history of pancreatitis. And there was no increased risk of cardiovascular event. In fact, there was benefit as far as this is concerned. And it's something which is well tested and tolerated. So you can see more than 60,000 patients have been included only in trial. We're not talking about the real world data. Real world data is almost 38 million patient years across different indications since 2018 has been there. And which patients in low practice are suitable for this molecule? It is indicated to reduce the risk of major adverse cardiovascular event, cardiovascular death, non-fatal myocardial infarction, non-fatal stroke in adults with established cardiovascular disease, either obesity or overweight. So meaning thereby that patients who are BMI is more than 27 or those who have got no diabetes but BMI more than 30 kg per meter square. So obviously these are the patients who would be indicated for that. And typically we need to start the dose with 0.25 milligrams, then up every 4 weeks we can increase gradually, because if you start with the highest dose in first go, then a lot of side effects will be there like GI upset and all, and patient may get discouraged to use this. So from 0.25 milligram you can go up to 2.4 milligram maximum dose over 5 months after titrating the dose and then reap the benefit. So to conclude, I would say that the Wegovy provided sustained and clinically meaningful weight reduction in adults with overweight or obesity, and 1 in 3 achieved weight loss of more than 20%. And it is the only anti-obesity medication with proven cardiovascular benefit in patients with overweight or obesity and cardiovascular disease without diabetes. So as standalone patients who are non-diabetic, there also you can give them patients, especially who are obese and has got a proven atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Semaglutide has been studied in more than 60,000 patients in different trials. Series and Sustain and Pioneer data has all shown that this is something which is a very, very promising molecule. So I try to finish very fast so that Ozempic here for you. Dr. Chauhan, over to you.
Sir, thank you very much. Can we have the lights on, please? Friends, we are blessed not only to have Dr. Vivek Kumar sir deliver his deliberation on Ozempic, but we are also blessed to have Dr. Manesh Verma sir, Vice Chancellor, Guru Gobind Singh International University, and Dr. Meera Verma ma'am. The agenda for today was to felicitate them, and Ozempic just pitched in beautifully. We will just give a go to the second part of the lecture. I will arrange another CME for that. There are 57 slides in that, and it's going to take 1 hour and nobody has time for that. However, on this presentation we have time for 10 minutes for question answers and then everything for felicitation. I'll go to Dr. Tulsi sir.
Question has to be directed to Dr. Chauhan.
No. Sir. Okay. Take the
So, great talk, Dr. Vivek, once more. So, recently the AHA and the ACC talked about prescribing these drugs post-carriage. Are our cardiac surgeons aware of the fact that these drugs act beautifully 4 weeks after post-operative carriage, introducing further vascular events, in also graft preservations and other benefits also seen with these drugs if you prescribe these drugs post-capital. Talk us about this, sir.
Yes, I think as you saw in the recommendation also, so these are people who would have, and if you look at the mechanism, it is the anti-inflammatory mechanism is the number one. And that is the reason why, again, the other thing which has been found beneficial, if you see, during open heart surgery or bypass surgery, there is a lot of handling of the fat tissue, pericardial fat and all those things. And that inflammation is quite, so that is the reason almost 6% of the graft they accrue before the patient gets discharged. So if you start the OB on day one, then all those benefits will be there, and plus you will have anti-inflammatory effect as well. So I think there is no wonder that all the guidelines have not included it as a first choice of drug in these group of patients.
Absolutely, sir. Let's talk a little about the heart failure. You are a master of heart failure. So we know the wonderful drug to treat heart failure with preserved ejection fraction. What about the reduced ejection fraction? We know the recent trials, the SELECT trial and other trials talked about, some analysis of these trials said these drugs are safe and indeed are recommended even for reduced ejection fraction. Just a word on reduced ejection fraction.
Yeah, so I think we have a lot of data in preserved ejection fraction. Obviously, if you look at the obese patient, they will have heart failure with preserved ejection fraction. So obesity goes hand in hand with that. Because a lot of obese patients will have hypertension, preserved ejection fraction with heart failure. So in that, the data is quite impressive. In reduced ejection fraction, it has been seen that the patients who have got concomitant atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, those who have got diabetes and obesity, there it has got very good feedback. So I would say that sooner or later it will become as a fifth pillar of heart failure medication. So now we say that Fabulous 4. Now in very soon for FREP also will have Fabulous 6. So that this effect of this model. But definitely anyone whose ejection fraction is low, even if it is not in the guideline yet, we would be giving if the patient is obese and diabetic.
The STEER heart failure trial, which was recently published, talked about there's absolutely no safety concerns with in patients who have reduced ejection fraction. It's safe to use these drugs. How safe is that? When do you start these drugs?
Yeah, so I think if any patient who has
reduced ejection fraction.
So in reduced ejection fraction, there are two groups. One is ischemic cardiomyopathy and one is non-ischemic. So beauty of this drug is that it is beneficial in both of them, but I would choose it above SGLT2 inhibitor in patients who have got ischemic or atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. So there it will go one notch above, but combination of both the drugs would be beneficial. Only, caution would be in patients who have got history of pancreatitis or severe, GI issues. There you can, you need to use caution. Otherwise, it's a wonderful diagnosis.
Talk us about the Turtle 1 and 2 studies.
So I think basically, if you see the different subsets of patients who have got atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, heart failure with reduced ejection fraction.
Turtle 1 and 2.
No, so I am not. I think.
So these studies, completed phase 2 trials, talked about prescribing these drugs in type 1 diabetes, obese type 1 diabetes, to reduce cardiovascular events, to reduce renal events. As we know, 50% of the patients of type 1 diabetes are obese.
So I think still the guideline wise it has not come.
No, it hasn't. It's just completed phase 2 trials.
So still, we need to wait for the results before we start prescribing it.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Skada sir, only one question. Only one question.
Okay, sir, I extend Dr. Kunshi's concept, accepted and expected. Accepted norms and expected norms. It was expected that statins, being anti-inflammatory, they should be used for after all surgeries. Are you using them after all surgeries in non-cardiac patients?
No, so not in all patients.
Expected and expected.
Post coverage.
Sir, metformin was also advised in at least 10 aspects. One of them are anti-cancers. It has never been used as anti-cancers till now. So I will not take much time. So many effects are expected and accepted. Thank you so much.
Dr. Amish Mora, sir, you had a question.
So just seeing you, I would always like to ask questions, not that I am a diabetologist. Mounjaro, Ozempic and Wegovy, the three if we see, and diabetic patient and non-diabetic patient, if we divide into this, irrespective of who's sponsoring today, how would you approach your patient, which patient? Because if I understand correctly, Mounjaro works on GIP and GLP-1. So if the aim is weight reduction along with sugar reduction, Mounjaro should be preferred. But if the aim is somewhat of sugar reduction but with somewhat of weight reduction, then Wegovy, and now December Wegovy oral tablet also has been approved.
Sir, mean the cardiac.
What cardiac
protection is
Chauhan sir will not allow me, otherwise I was reading the phase 3 trial, 6.5% versus 8%. So relative risk reduction is 20%, but actual risk reduction is just 1.5%. But that is not my topic for today, we will discuss some other time. Mounjaro, Ozempic and Wegovy, which patient, what, when?
Can I answer this? All right, wonderful question. I think that summarizes pretty much the entire CME, Dr. Amish. And you ask very smart and very, very pertinent questions every single time. Unless one is thorough with the...
Thank you very devious way.
So that is exactly the reason why I am saying these words. So you'll be kinder next time when you ask questions. Anyway, you have asked a very pertinent question. So we had oral semaglutide 3 years ago launched in India. And why were we using it? We were using it for 2 indications. We were using it for diabetes, HbA1c reduction. We were also using it for weight reduction. But what was the maximum weight reduction? 8 to 10%. Alright. And then we had Mounjaro, as you said, a dual GLP-1 agonist. Right? And it worked beautifully because it was working on both the axes. It was GIP as well as GLP. And it led to wonderful weight reductions, even up to the tune of 25 to 30%. Okay? Now, you want to ask the question in which setting you want to use which molecule. Alright? Now, what is your end game? Dr. Viveka sir is here, and if your end game is cardiovascular safety and you want to go by the data and the evidence, then the evidence is that the cardiovascular safety and the cardiovascular data is very strong with semaglutide. We do not have a very strong data with tirzepatide, despite the fact that it is a wonderful molecule and leads to wonderful weight loss. Alright. Now, if your end game is with a cardiovascular safety and cardiovascular benefits, go for semaglutide. However, if you have a patient whose primary goal is to achieve weight loss, then there is no harm in using a dual GIP-GLP-1 agonist. Right? Now you need to find out what is the initial weight of the patient. Suppose it is 150 kilograms. You will not use a oral semaglutide because you know what is the kind of weight loss. Also, you would not like to, you have head-to-head comparison between semaglutide and tirzepatide, where semaglutide was losing weight to the tune of 20%, but average weight loss in the tirzepatide group was 25%. So what would you use? Honestly. But if you have a patient with obesity, with cardiovascular issues, Dr. Tulsi sir mentioned with reduced ejection fraction, what would you like to use? A molecule which has documented cardiovascular safety data and which is semaglutide. Right? We are going to have oral tablets also. Me and Dr. Manish attended the wonderful Asia Oceania conference on obesity, and there are going to be oral molecules which are going to lead to wonderful results on obesity oral molecules. Okay? And they are from companies which have launched these injectable molecules. So, now you have 3 molecules. Suppose you want to lose only 10% of the body weight, patient is not willing to take an injectable. What would you like to use? And given the background that even a 10% loss in body weight is going to reduce 50% mortality morbidity. You know that data very well. You are a wonderful oncologist, but you also have that data. So 8 to 10% even oral semaglutide will do. If you do not want to use a oral semaglutide, patient is willing. You know that oral semaglutide will not work. Injectable semaglutide will not work to that tune. So you need to use a stronger molecule, and that stronger molecule, without doubt, although we are doing a CME on semaglutide, is Mounjaro, which is a dual GLP-1 agonist. Now the question is, are you using it for diabetes benefit?
If the patient is not diabetic,
If the
what
patient-
am I allowed to use?
If the patient is not diabetic and if your primary, you want to answer that, Manish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, with the latest select trial, they chose non-diabetics, these with high cardiovascular risk, and they found the data supporting semaglutide use. No, sir,
Injectable.
injectable semaglutide. So, I have Dr. Sen Gupta there also to comment on that. So, I would prefer in those patients, as of now, the data says semaglutide.
Dr. Sen,
Sir.
your insight and your input.
Thank you
Oral
for explaining.
Wegovy is the only trial which did not include diabetic patients.
Which one?
Oral Wegovy is the one which FDA has approved in December, is the only trial, Oasis or somebody name, I forgot the name,
Oasis for-
where it did not include diabetic patients.
Okay.
While all other trials have been.
Your insight.
So, you have explained the indication beautifully. To answer your question in a nutshell, Wegovy is for weight loss, Ozempic is for diabesity, Mounjaro is for weight loss, the parallel American brand Zepbound is for diabesity, which has still not been run, but these are all semantics. It is up to you to decide on the basis of the clinical scenario.
Need silence at the back. Need silence at the back.
Is Ozempic, right? That's what it is.
Can I add to that?
Sir, we'll now give it a go, sir. Friends, we had a wonderful CME. Thank you to Dr. Viveka, sir, and thanks to Novo. Congratulations to them on launch of Ozempic, which is injectable semaglutide designed specifically for diabetes treatment. And it is in 3 strengths, as I understand, 0.25, 0.5 and 1 milligram. As opposed to Wegovy, which is for diabesity. That is not only for diabetes, also for participants with diabetes and obesity, and it comes in, I think, 5 strengths: 0.25, 0.5, 1 milligram, 1.7 milligram, and 2.4 milligram. Is that correct? Right. So Ozempic has been launched. You can use it for your patients for benefiting, but it is specifically for diabetes. It is not for obesity. The molecule for obesity is Wegovy. Okay. So I would request Dr. Viveka sir to please come here. We are now going to start the felicitation for Dr. Mahesh Verma and Dr. Meera Verma. And we are very blessed and we are very grateful to them.